Alright, so last night at trivia, I'm just gonna get up. I'm like supposed to be studying. I made it through the first part of the chapter and I got distracted again. But last night at trivia, I fucking got an answer right. It was like a song round where they play a song and you had to write down who it was by. Or no, it was the song title, not who it was by. Like, if you didn't know the song title, you didn't get credit, even if you did know who it was by. And Rhiannon came on and nobody else knew it. And I knew it, but there wasn't really time to think like that. So, like, I spelled it for King of Cups dude who was writing, the answers. And I had to, like, spell out Rhiannon. And my older sister, the one that I live with, was like, why do you know that? And I had to explain that I watched American Horror Story season 3 a million times, over the years. It's one of my favorite seasons. And, it was all about the witches, which I didn't, like, bring up that aspect necessarily. I just said, well, it's in season 3 of American Horror Story. And they had this one little, like, excerpt where Misty Day talks about how Stevie Nicks just heard the name Rhiannon and sat down and wrote a song. Got inspired. Muse-like energy. And I don't know why Rhiannon's important, but when I searched for that artist, I got Fleetwood Mac. And I didn't even pay attention to what song was actually playing on the video that came up, because in my head the very first thought was Rhiannon. And similarly to our other search this result and see what comes up for you situations, this one was particularly poignant. I'm not really sure why, though. Rhiannon. Maybe it's important for some reason. Maybe it will be. Maybe it's a synchronicity, or maybe it's got something to do with last night, which was a weird night. I think now that things are solidly not a thing with that King of Cups, it's gotten more comfortable. There's no real hostility anymore. Ever since he got really serious with his boyfriend, there's been no weirdness, which is good. It's been comfortable. And they seem happy together. And I'm happy that they're happy. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really want him in the first place. And I don't mean that in, like, a rejected kind of energy kind of way. But, like, when I first, like, had the idea all that time ago, I was like, God, I hope not. I hope that's not it. But back then I was still like, there is nobody else other than James. And then the next time I thought about it, it was coming out of another potential scenario. And that almost felt like a redirection of energy. Not like somebody I was actually interested in, but like, okay, this is where we're supposed to go next. Which I think was part of my problem in all this. Because every single time something ended, another situation presented itself, and I was just like, okay, we're going that way. You know, that must be the person. That must be the situation we're supposed to explore. And as time went on and I got more detached and, you know, person after person, circumstance after circumstance, I realized every single one of them was a lesson. And every single one of them was important in its own right. And every one of them almost had or has the opportunity to come back around in some way, shape, or form. But where I'm at now is a state of detachment and focusing on myself, and none of that really feels like a priority anymore. Like, yeah, I still want love. Yeah, I still want that connection that gives me that feeling. I want all of the hope that comes along with it. I want to grow with somebody and get to know each other, like really know each other authentically and loyally. And I'm not forcing how that looks. And I've always been choosing myself. But there's something right now about it just not being my focus. And when I see other people pairing off, I'm happy for them. I really want it to work out with my sister and her boyfriend, even though I don't think she sees it being like a super long-term thing. Maybe it will be. Who knows? And this King of Cups, if he found a dude that really makes him happy and they're good together and it's healthy, like, I'm all for it. Like, go on. Have your happily ever after. That's how I feel. And part of me is like, I got some shit I gotta work out first. Even though I've got this like sense of biological clock ticking, like, you know, like, I know that there's no rushing it. And I'm not unhappy for anybody else that's about to have that. I don't feel jealous, I don't think. I don't feel unfulfilled. I feel like when my time comes, it'll be there, you know? And it's not dejected, and it's not like I'm putting it up on a shelf. It's literally just focusing on what's right in front of me. And I'm having a hard enough time juggling all of the things that I'm trying to juggle without a relationship. So, I don't know. My ears are ringing. It's usually a message from Spirit. I take that to mean I need to check my FYP. Maybe there's a message for me there. But that's the current energy. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Maybe it's right where we're supposed to be right now. And who knows what tomorrow will bring. We'll see. Thanks for watching.